After the year we all had with 2020, I think many of us are wanting to move forward in a more positive, self reflective way. It all starts with looking at ourselves, acknowledging our faults, and putting in the work to do better. I think it's pretty easy to recognize toxic behavior in others, but not so much when it comes to our own actions and behaviors. Toxic people are, well, toxic. And unfortunately, it is possible that you are actually the toxic person in many people's lives. Now, no one wants to believe they are toxic, but sometimes the facts are just undeniable. So recognize the signs and knock it off. Here are 15 signs your behavior is toxic. Sign number 1, you anger easily. You can go from 0 to 100 over the smallest thing and lose your mind on those closest to you and even strangers. Sticking up for yourself is one thing, but talking to people in your life disrespectfully or making a habit of going off on people is toxic behavior. Sign number 2, friends and family hold their tongues. If your friends or family dare to try to hold you accountable for your words or actions, it is a known fact that it will turn into a huge fight or gaslighting session. So instead, they hold their tongues or start avoiding you altogether. Sign number 3, you lose people in your life. People are always breaking up with you, both literally and figuratively. Anything to avoid dealing with you and your toxic behavior. Sign number 4, you treat people like crap. Being nice and sweet sometimes does not give you a free pass to treat people like crap whenever you get upset or have a bad day. The minute you get upset or lose your temper, your nice mask falls off and you show your true colors. Sign number 5, you always have to be right. No one likes being wrong, but with a toxic person, even when they have been proven wrong, they want to argue or find a way to be right. If that doesn't work, then they get angry or gaslighting is sure to follow. Sign number 6, you are never happy. You are the ultimate drama queen with always something going on in your personal or professional life that tends to be overinflated problems blown out of proportion. You seem to look for reasons to not be happy, and you drag others into your self-created problems, leaving them shaking their heads at your first world issues. Sign number 7, you are overly critical. If you are a toxic person, you will always find a way to criticize. You are far from perfect, but you want to hold everyone else to a standard of perfection and are always sure to let them know that they are failing. Sign number 8, you don't take responsibility. It's never you, it is always someone else. You seem to always attract drama and have problems, but to have you tell it, it is always someone else's fault. You take zero accountability for anything, especially the ramifications of your own actions. Sign number 9, you are insensitive to others' feelings. Now, maybe you are a straight shooter, or perhaps you are passive aggressive, but either way, you always manage to say something insensitive or insulting because you are insecure and toxic. Of course, when someone is offended or hurt by you, you try to laugh it off because they are not entitled to feel insulted by your rude comment or joke at their expense. Sign number 10, you are rude. You tend to say rude and thoughtless things. You speak to people in the service industry in a rude manner and tend to be inconsiderate and thoughtless when irritated. Sign number 11, you are negative. You are Debbie Downer and the sky is always falling to hear you tell it. We all have the occasional negative thought or feeling, but if you are toxic, being negative is a way of life. You are that friend that tells her happy and in love friend that you hope this guy doesn't cheat on her like all the others. Sign number 12. You are not supportive. You cannot stand to see anyone doing better than you, even if it's your bestie or your partner. It's all about you, and if your life isn't going how you want it to, then you can't be happy for anyone else. You're toxic. Sign number 13. You are always complaining. Even when things are good, you always find something to complain about. The food wasn't great, the music was too loud, or not your preference. It's too crowded, or you're bored. Complain, complain, complain. Sign number 14. You are petty. Your tit-for-tat attitude when it comes to relationships is never going to be a winning strategy. You are childish and do not seem to learn from past mistakes. You think you are scoring big at the moment with your words and insults, but your tantrums consistently turn into big losses for you in the long run. Sign number 15. You feel the need to one-up others. You cannot stand when you are not the center of attention and it is not about you. You can just never let someone have their moment or shine. It always has to be about you, so you go out of your way to try to show others up, even those you claim to be friends with or love. It is never too late to grow and change. Actually believing otherwise is just an excuse to not put in the work needed to be a better friend, a better spouse, a better daughter, or a better sibling. If you recognize most or all of these traits in yourself or someone else, you have identified a toxic person. But you don't have to stay toxic. So now I want to hear from you. Do you recognize the characteristics in someone close to you or even yourself? Are you willing to cut that toxic person out of your life or change your ways? Please share your thoughts. Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.